Hello everyone, welcome back for another video. Hope you had a wonderful and safe weekend, and welcome to another show. This is the XRP agent, and today is going to be an exciting day today. We have the government working on the new stimulus package. Hopefully they'll have something today. We have also a proposal for unlimited quantitative easing, and we have the market opening up. Probably right now when you see this video, it's probably be up. So with the news of unlimited quantitative easing, will the millionaires and billionaires club take advantage of the market spike going up, sell off, and the market crash down, and then they'll print all the money that they want in the world, and then they'll deflationary the dollar and crash it and burn it, and then the economy tanked, and then we'll like restart everything with XRP? But I don't know. But we shall soon see. Hope everyone's being safe, taking precautions to keep you and your family safe in this time of craziness. Out here in California, we have some company. We have the National Guard to make sure that we abide by the self-quarantine. The beaches, the trails, parks are closed because people are taking it as a holiday. Oh well, we're gonna kick back at the beach. It's a beautiful day in the Southern California, and they go working out at the trails, and governor was like, "No, we're not having none of that now. We need to shut that down because this virus is getting crazier and crazier by the minute." So it's like the compound effect. It's just moving through the world, doubling, tripling, and everything. So, all right. But just be safe. Keep yourself healthy. And you keep your family healthy. So let's get into the news, shall we? All right. So it looks like we're seeing some green. 6% for Bitcoin, 5% for Ethereum, and 3% for XRP. BTC, Bitcoin is at 66%. It's moving up in the world. Bitcoin is at $6,451 currently. Ethereum is at $134. And XRP, the digital asset of the future, is moving up to close to 16 cents, but currently is at 15.93. So that's pretty close. Now, will we see any boost in the crypto prices? I don't know. Maybe if they sell off, maybe some people will be smart enough to put it into the crypto space, and we'll move on from there, but we do not know. All right, so let's move on to the next subject of today. All right, I like this guy, Bitcoin Marco. A short story about the global event. Rich people with cheap assets, should I buy? Poor people. Which toilet paper should I buy? Rich people. Markets will recover. Poor people. Markets will die. Rich people. I see opportunity. Poor people. I am scared. So I like this guy, but yeah, throughout history, you see different people having different actions or emotions towards the markets. And profitable investors, they tell you, keep your emotions out of it. And I don't know how it goes in cryptocurrency. If you can't stand the 30 or 40% drop, you won't, you don't deserve the 15,000% gains. And I don't know if I'm quoting it correctly, but hey, that makes a lot of sense. So you just gotta weather the storm. I'm still trying to buy. It's like, hey, do I see any recyclables out here? Is the recyclable place open? Because I'm trying to cash in. All right, so let's see what Happy XRP has to say. In an unexpected move, Fed unveils open-ended quantitative easing included corporate bonds, zero hedge. All right, so let's see what they're talking about.
This is a big step. Is the Fed on board?
Well, this is a very important question. And of course, the Federal Reserve has so readily and quickly embraced and actually reinstituted many lending programs to provide liquidity to our financial markets by bringing back tools from the 2008 crisis. So what we can see so far, what's interesting here, we've had so much opposition between the White House and the Fed, but now we have Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, a key part of this part of Mitch McConnell's bill, it appears. The bill draft would give Treasury, I should say, would put up $425 billion, and this would allow the Fed to provide, he says, up to $4 trillion in liquidity through various kinds of lending programs. Mike Feroli over at JP Morgan, where he's one of the chief economists, says it would allow the Fed to lever up this money. So it would be a very important step. The thing is, the Fed has not been allowed to do this in the past, but Bloomberg News spoke to Mike Crapo. He is the Republican head of the Senate Banking Committee. Their story reports that he's saying this would definitely expand the Fed's authority to lend to state and local governments. It's hard to conceive the Democrats are not on board with this part of the stimulus package. Yes, as Stephen said, they don't want corporate bailout. They want more money to workers, to hospitals. They want assistance on student debt. Eric Rosengren, president of the Boston Fed, has been talking about this for a long time. If you look at the Bank of England, for example, many other central banks as well have the authority to do this kind of purchases. It brings to the table, if they can buy municipal bonds, where there'll also be a push to change the rules so they can buy corporate bonds as well, something that would help some of these big corporations that are in trouble. But I think, as the president's trying to argue, if you want workers to have jobs when this is all said and done, you're going to have the companies that employ them in decent shape as well.
And Kathleen, it seems like the Fed seems as eager as the White House to add stimulus as well. So is it enough, do you think, to avoid the recession fears?
Well, to continue to answer the question, Yvonne, first, that Ḥaslín just asked, is the Fed on board? Jim Bullard, speaking to Bloomberg News, our own Steve Matthews, in fact, said just today, everything is on the table for more lending. He does think that unemployment could go to 30% in the second quarter. GDP, he said, could drop to by 50%. So clearly a big worry on the economy driving Jim Bullard and other Fed officials. In fact, he says the Fed can go much higher in its bond purchases. They did more than $270 billion of repo operations last week. They can buy more bonds, he said. And 𝙏𝙝𝙖𝙑 𝙠 president of the Minneapolis Fed, who is one of the people that Hank Paulson hired to put TARP through during the financial crisis, as you may recall. He was on 60 Minutes today. Here's what he said about the Fed.
We're moving much faster than we moved in 2008. We're being more aggressive. Is there more we can do? Yes. Is there more we may end up doing? Yes. But I think we're being very aggressive. There is no end to our ability to do that.
The Fed has infinite cash. That's what 𝙏𝙗𝙗 𝙠 says. Again, there seems to be such a cohesive effort now, Ḥaslín and Yvonne, for the Fed to get on board. Treasury's working with the Fed, Congress. It does seem that once all these details get hashed out, the Democrats were complaining that Mitch McConnell didn't include them enough in the putting together the stimulus package, that something's going to be in place quickly to move this forward now.
You talk about infinite cash. The question is really whether it can stop, the global economy, the U.S. economy from sinking into a deep recession. We've already heard about how it could shrink about 50%.
Well, but that could be just a temporary shrinkage. Remember, this is a deliberate step by the U.S. government, like other governments before it, China, for example, have done, to deliberately slow the economy, make people stay home, make factories shut down for a while. China, of course, saying it's getting ready for a rebound. Seems to me that could be a rather hopeful note. But again, the bridge has to be built. A bridge has to go from where the U.S. economy is now as people go on lockdown, and there is no paycheck going out. There is no business. There are no revenues being earned by small, medium, and large companies. If this kind of stimulus, if these steps create that bridge for people to kind of go over, in a few months they can step out on the other side. I think that is the most optimistic hope. That's why there is so many steps being taken in this direction now to avoid anything like a recession that could be temporary, spiraling down into something that could look like a depression. Most people aren't forecasting that, but that is a bit of a concern.
Unlimited cash. Wow. I wonder how that's going to work out. We're in new times, crazy times, and I just hope everything works out. My case is like, why print all this money when it's not backed with anything? The best thing to do is just pause everything. And maybe with the money that you already have in the Federal Reserve, pay all those, I guess, bills that people is going to be, corporations is going to charge you. You know, so like take mortgages for example. You pause the mortgage. It's like, all right, we're going to pause the mortgage for 6 months, right? Banks have to make some money. So you make up the difference, not the whole difference, but you make up the difference so the banks could stay solvent until the crisis is over. You know, like utility companies. It's like, all right, well, we're going to pause all the utility bills and just, you know, once 3 months, 6 months is over, we'll unpause it, and the regular consumer start off from scratch, from where they paused. And the difference, the business bills, the federal government, they take care of that. To me, that is so simple. Now, maybe it's more complex than that and all this other stuff, but just giving banks money and trusting them to do whatever, that's just foolishness. Now, I see that they have different things in place where they can't do buybacks, stock buybacks, pay their CEOs anything extra for like bonuses, I think for 5 years or whatever. But if there's a way where the corporation crooks can do whatever they want to do, they're going to try to do it. All right. This is the XRP agent. I hope you liked the show. Leave a comment below and help support the channel. All right. This is the XRP agent. Until next time, stay safe, stay vigilant, and stay at home until after all this steam blows over. Later.